All right, I think I might have to just speak up a little bit. I don't know why the audio is sitting there messing up, but hopefully you all can hear me. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So Camille, right now, my better half isn't with me at the moment. She's not feeling too well, so I'm gonna have to do this solo dolo, by myself. So it's my first time doing a live by myself, but we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun right now. We got a bunch of stuff that we want to catch you up on, going on with us, and like what we have been doing on our previous trips, that we probably didn't get a chance to do a live last month because we had a bunch of stuff going on. But things seem to calm down a little bit, so now we got a time to have some time to sit there and do this live. So I want to sit there and thank everyone who's here for joining. I'm Aaron. I'm from Finding Our Forte. Camille is Camille from Finding Our Forte, obviously. Um, and we're just a nice travel family that's like sit there and explore the world and do lots of different things, whether it's hiking, RVing, just traveling, just trying to trying to have some fun doing a good life. So let's see. So what we're going to get into today, we're going to talk about like our experience at the yurt and at Sweetwater in Sweetwater, Tennessee. And then actually when we went to Sweetwater, Tennessee, we went to see the Lost Sea, which was a cool like underground like sea, like the biggest one over here in the United States. And I believe it's a little underground in the world. So we did that. We also did like a glamping trip in Amicalola Falls up in North Georgia. So we did that. So that was really fun to do. Um, we also did a hiking trip that I posted, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago. But we did that one like about 6, 7 months back. I just didn't get a chance to post it, but that was actually the kid's first trip. So I want to talk about that a little bit. And then later on, after that, we talk about those things. Then we'll sit there and get to the some questions and updates and stuff like that. So just to fill you in a little bit. So definitely want to sit there and stay along for that. And I want to try something new. Well, I mean, hopefully Camille gets up here. She's feeling a little better. I had a little surprise for her. She don't know that I decided to add this to the itinerary, but something that I think will be fun just to get some feedback from y'all, and also just to get y'all to know us a little bit better. So, without further ado, I want to talk about our yurt experience. So, it was fun. So, like, in case you don't know, a yurt is like a big, I guess, hexagon circular tent. It was really big, and where we did it actually had a like hobby farm. So it had like llamas, goats, chickens. I want to say it's another different animal, but it was a bunch of different animals that they had there. But just inside the yurt, it was fun. They had their own little heater, I guess, or AC, so it wasn't necessarily too cold. Even though the night we went there, I believe it was like 20 degrees outside. Um, yeah, it was freezing, and we got in there. It heated up rather well. Carson was with us, so he went every day and get a chance to go, but Carson was with us. We had a great time. We was in there. We actually went to the hobby farm, which was like right up the hill, so it wasn't farm. It was like a part of the Airbnbs, their I guess what do you call their amenities, I guess. So yeah, you can sit there and feed them. So we took some, I guess, like the feed or pellets and stuff, and we threw them in there. I was too scared to sit there and let them eat from my hand. I'm paranoid. I'd have figured I'd have let them eat from my hand. One of the goats or llamas would have sit there and bit me, and then I'd have been mad. So like I'm messing around with animals that I don't know. So that's pretty much what we did there. But as far as that, the experience was great. Like I had a good time there. We were only there for about 24 hours, so it was a good enough time to just sit there, go there, relax, and enjoy your time there. It's very peaceful there, like, but there's no light. So like if you're trying to leave the yurt to just go to your car, it is pitch black. So if you do that, please bring a flashlight or a lamp or something, because you're not gonna be able to see anything out there. But looking at the sky and the stars at nighttime was good too. So like you're like to do astrophotography or something like that, you'll get some really, really good pictures from where we're at. Go check that video out. I actually put the link of the Airbnb there. So if you actually want to go there and see what it is, just go to the video page and go in the comments, and then you'll see it there in the description. So like it was fun. Let's see. You're in the chat. Okay. Oh, let's see. Um, we actually didn't. We actually had two questions from some emails, so I'll get to those later. Just looking at my itinerary and I'm going through. Let's see. Our tent camping trip at Amicalola State Park was fun. That's the most recent one we did. So we drove all the way up there. I can't remember exactly what city is it's in, but the waterfall there is great. So Amicalola State Park is North Georgia. It's a little bit it's a little bit past Blue Ridge or before Blue Ridge as you're driving up there, which is a nice little drive from where we're at. So it's about an hour and a half north of Atlanta, just to give you some type of context for where it's at. But it's fun. Um, we did a little hike there. That was good. We walked well. We didn't do the real hike, so we kind of cheated. So you can actually do the 600 plus steps. I think it's like 660 steps from the bottom of the waterfall. You can walk all the way to the top. We kind of cheated. We went like halfway and then only kind of hiked like straight path, maybe about 1,000 yards. And then it's probably less. It's probably like 500 yards. And then you see the waterfall and it just like opens up. And so you can look down and you can look up to see both lookout points from where you're at, which was a cool experience. The kids was with us. They were good. We actually had the dogs with the two, Ace and Charlie. So they had a good time walking it. It was a bunch of people there actually, even though it was a rough weekend, like weather wise, to sit there and go there. I will say that. So it rained a lot. We actually hit it at a time where like it was a stall in the rain. So like we went there. It wasn't really raining at the point, even though like the ground was wet and such. So we did that. But we actually when going there, we actually stayed in a glamping tent. So the glamping tent. Oh, yep. Thank you, Camille. Dawsonville, Georgia, which is between well, Dahlonega and LJ. So we actually did that. We had a great time. The glamping tent was awesome. It could fit, I would say, 6 people. No, yeah, six. If you count the bed and then the two bunks, they had two bunks on each side. So Carson had like a bunk to his side. Avery had a bunk to her side, even though they both slept up top. So it was cool. So we actually could have fit two more people there alongside with Camilla and I, where we was in the bed. And so it was fun. Like it was actually warmer than I thought it was going to be. From because I guess they had like two HVAC units, so they had one on one side and one over there by the bunk beds out closer to the exterior, I guess, tent lining door. So that was cool. But that day was kind of crazy because it was a big storm. So we heard the rain. Avery woke up. She went and got in the bed. Was um, like you heard everything. You heard every tree branch whistle blow. Everything because it was coming down. It was pouring. So it was a nice thunderstorm. We heard the thunder, so that kind of woke woke both the kids up. And we were up at like 5 o'clock, and well, I was up. Camille was asleep because she puts an eye mask on. She out. So I don't. She didn't hear nothing, but I heard everything. The kids heard everything, and then next thing you know, everybody's in the bed with us. So that's how that was. But as far as the trip itself, like that was a nice, good weekend trip. So if you're in the area or you want to just like hiking, you like, glamping if you don't want to sleep in the tent, like an actual tent. That's a good way to start. Or even if you want to have your first start at tent camping, that was probably a good place to go because at least you can kind of get a good feel of what camping is like, and with some modern amenities from that standpoint. But it was nice. And we had a great time. Um, yeah. So as far as for that, I think that was a good trip. For Amicalola State Park. I'm looking at my notes here. Let's see. We didn't have any challenges setting up the tent because it was already there. So that was fine. They did also have like other pads around, so they had pads for like RVs. If you wanted to sit there do tent camping, you could do tent camping. They had like nice little pads out there where you could actually do tent camping. Where we seen a few families out there tent camping, but they kind of skedaddled when the weather got real bad. So like I don't think their tent was holding up, but they left. Um, I'm trying to think of maybe some funny or unexpected moments. I don't think we had too many, aside from the thunderstorm that was sitting there, coming down. As far as that was, it, that was it. Oh, Carson was scared of bears. He seen the bear sign, so then he was paranoid walking to the waterfall, trying to make sure there's no bears. So that was probably the only funny moment I can say. I think y'all can hear me. Seems like it's in there. All right. So the camera overheated. I don't know why I was going to talk for like 15 minutes. I didn't think I was going to do that, but all right, we can keep this going. Um, so yeah, that was Amicalola State Park. I'm going to talk about High Falls right now. So High Falls was, and it's actually in High Falls, Georgia. So we actually took the kids there, and that was their first hiking trip. So, you know, we wanted to see how it was. We wanted to have them get out more. We was trying to get them tired because earlier that day we was dropping the dogs off at the vet, so we already knew that was going to be a long time to get them back. So we was just trying to figure out something to do. So we did that. It was actually a nice park. It was a nice trail. So like it was one of the trails where you actually had to do some type of work. So it wasn't like a nice little paved or gravel trail. It was it was like you walking in the dirt, you walking in the woods. You're going through that whole process, walking up and down rocks and jumping over logs and stuff like that. Camille wanted to take the strenuous trail, which it wasn't necessarily that strenuous. They just called it strenuous. So I'm assuming the other trails were paved or had gravel on it. But you can see the waterfall as you're walking. So pretty much the whole time you're walking through the path, the waterfall is right next to you. So it's kind of cascading. So, it's kind of trickling down. You hear the water, you see the rapids and stuff. So it's pretty cool. And then at the end, you have to kind of walk up this hill and get to there. And so we did was we touched the sign so we know it's official that we did the whole trail. And then we walked back. So it was fun. It was nice and relaxing. Avery got tired once she touched the sign. She was done. She was like, nope, I want to be picked up. I want to be carried. So Camille carried her all the way back. I was entertaining Carson as we were walking back. So those were the things that go big or home. Right. Go big or go home. So that was some of the things that we were doing as we were sitting there walking back. So we had a good time. It was a bunch of people walking the trails. So if you're in that area, you want to go sit there and do a nice little hike. That's something you do. It only took us maybe like an hour to do the whole loop. So it wasn't necessarily too bad. All right. Some exciting updates. So let's see. So we went to Chicago not too long ago. Let's see. So that's a good question. Do you know what type of animal life is there? So I mean, they have deer. They the normal animals, deer, raccoons, possum stuff. We didn't see anything. Obviously, I think we seen some squirrels and stuff like that. Now I did look up. Do they have bears? They said bears trickle through in there every now and then, but they don't have bears for the most part. If they do have bears, it's kind of they're passing through or something like that. But they don't have two bears coming there through too often. So I think you're fine if you're trying to take a hike there. I think you're good. So for some updates, so we have a Chicago Bigfoot. I don't know, man. Bigfoot might not be there. I think it's a smaller park, so he might not be there, but he definitely probably up there in Amicalola Falls. That's funny. Yeah, so we have a trip to Chicago that we still have to post, so that should be a nice one. Bigfoot is everywhere. Yes. Yeah, trip to Chicago that we had to post, which Camilla and I did for our birthday, so that was fun. So we're looking at updating that one. We're actually going to Jekyll Island, I believe, in a couple weeks. We're going to Gatlinburg in a couple weeks. So we have a couple of new trips that's coming up that I think will be fun. So we're going to an RV park, so definitely going to give you all some RV park reviews, so that way you know what's going on if you're trying to travel there to do some RVing. So do some of those things for you. Yeah, so that's about it. If you have anything or I guess like a timeline for when you would like to see things posted or something, let us know. Like we'll try to accommodate as much as possible. Any behind the scenes updates. Camille's starting to get into editing, so that should be cool. So now we can get a kind of a splash of kind of both of our styles and editing and such. So I'm excited to see what we come up with for our future videos. We're trying to make it a little bit more storyline based, and that way, it's kind of more intriguing to sit there and watch. So trying to make these videos a lot more entertaining. And yeah, we're still working on our stereotype stuff. We actually started outlining the first one, so we're looking to have that. Well, at least I'm trying to have it done within like the next month or so. So stay tuned. Think those stereotypes would be funny. So that was a good one that we were trying to work on. So I'm excited about that. Um, all right, so we're gonna talk some Q&As. So I have a couple that I got from emails. Then I didn't, unless somebody posted them recently. Didn't see anything in our comments this time. But I did have a couple emails, and the first one was, where was the first place we traveled to as a couple? Camille, you can chime in on the chat if you remember, but I want to say it was for your birthday, for Camille's birthday, and it was Charleston. I believe it was Charleston. So I think that was like the first trip that we actually did. Yep, I was right. See, I'll be paying attention. Your boy be paying attention. I'll be on it. That was like our first trip that we actually took, and that was fun. It was like a weekend trip, so it was like as soon as she got off work, we drove there. We did the aquarium. We walked down. No, I don't think we did part of King Street. We went to some like nice little restaurant where we got lunch at. We did the Magnolia. Help me out, Camille. We did Magnolia. It's not Magnolia Farms. Plantation, Magnolia Plantation. So that's what we did. So, like they got this big, beautiful botanical gardens there. They also had like a rice, like a boat tour where it went through like the rice fields. And then you wouldn't think that South Carolina has alligators, but no, they are deep, deep, deep embedded with alligators. They was just all around. We seen them. So yeah, that was a fun little trip that we took. We had a good time. The second question was, oh yeah, we did have biscuits and ice cream on King Street. So yep, that was for breakfast. I think that was right before we left too. Second question was, where was the best place y'all visited before you started your channel? That's a good question. We actually did quite a few things before we started the channel. We went to Dominican Republic twice. We did we did one cruise, I believe. At this point, we did one cruise where we went to St. Thomas, St. Croix, Antigua, Grenada, and St. Lucia. St. Lucia, we want to go back to. Like we're trying to figure out a way to go back to St. Lucia. So, like, as soon as we get the chance, we are going back. Went to Philly because she had to meet my mom. So we took a trip to Philly for a weekend. We did that. We went to Denver. Denver was fun. We did Orlando. Orlando was fun because we did Disney. San Francisco. We were at San Francisco. So yeah, we did a lot of places. So yeah, Camille say St. Lucia or Dominican Republic. I think we would probably both agree with Dominican Republic only because we were there longer and we did a lot more things there. St. Lucia we was only there for a day, so we necessarily didn't get a chance to explore the island. But just from the 8 hours we were there, exploring the island, like we enjoyed it. So we want to sit there and take the opportunity and take some time to sit there and enjoy it some more, but on a long-term basis. Let's see. Questions. So any questions about us? Any questions about like RV life? The gear that we use, like traveling with the kids. Anything we can sit there and talk to if you want to sit there and learn about at least our process on how to travel and stuff with the kids, or how we do things. What do we do with the dogs when we travel? So what are some things? So Camille, how you gonna say any updates on our RV purchase timeline? Like you know you know all that stuff. That's funny. I don't know. I feel like it's coming soon. We're just trying to handle a couple of things right now, get some stuff out of the way first, and then we'll be getting some. So I feel like we're close within the next 6 months ish to a year. Probably no later than a year, I don't think, but probably the next 6 months. So trying to get some of those things down. It's for the people. Ha ha ha. Yeah, okay. Um, you should be up here laughing with me. Let's see. I think that's it. I think it'd be a little better if I try my, my thing next live when she's up here too, because I think the flow would be better for my idea. But we'll do that next time. And just want to sit there and say thank you all for joining. I appreciate the time through all the beginning technical difficulties, the late technical difficulties. I don't know why it happened. I used the same setup I used for the last three, and then all of a sudden it wants to sit there and act wonky. So I mean, but that's technology for you, right? So that's what it is. Let's see. Miss Caroline had a question. Where would you like to go when we get our RV? So when we get our RV, probably up in the Pacific Northwest, we'll probably be spending a lot of time out there in that area. So we'll probably be hitting all the national parks there, all the, state park, everything out in the area we'll probably do because, it's nice and green out there. I know Bigfoot out there. He got to be. That's like the Bigfoot hub. If you want to talk about Bigfoot from earlier in the stream. So California's out there too. Try to hit a bunch of stuff out that way. We haven't gotten a chance to go out that way, but having the RV and exploring that area, I think that would be like some prime time good stuff. Vancouver's up there too, so you can see Vancouver and Portland, and I guess you can just sit there and say the whole West Coast. It's nice flat roads out there, so for the most part, so I think that'll be good. Yep, Oregon. So that'll be a good time, good fun times. So yeah, just to recap, we talked about Amicalola Falls, we talked about our luxury yurt trip, talked about the Lost Sea. Well, actually, I didn't talk about the Lost. I just gave you a glimpse of it, but the Lost Sea was cool. It's like the largest underwater lake in the country. It was founded by a little kid. He was sitting there climbing through there and found the lake. So like it's crazy. Like they just let little kids, 10, 11-year-old boys just randomly just climb and go splunking. So I thought that was kind of funny, but he made it out, and he actually didn't even get credit for finding it until he was like 73. So like that's kind of crazy. Like he had to wait 50 plus years to sit there and get credit. That's kind of messed up, even though they knew he found it. But yeah, that was the Lost Sea. Go watch the video. You can go check that out. It'll give you a way more in-depth explanation of what I just gave you. I just gave you a nice synopsis of it. But yeah, like for everyone that joined, I wish y'all sit there and if you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe, watch the videos, give feedback because like we enjoyed making videos and we enjoy all the stuff, but we also want to make the videos better. So anything you think that could be improved, like trust me, we're not above criticism. We like critiques. That's the only way we're going to get better. So yeah, any ideas and stuff like that, yeah, just let us know. You can find us at Finding Our Forte on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, pretty much those are the main ones that we use. I think I have a Finding Our Forte Twitter, but don't necessarily use it that often. But still trying to find time to work my way in all these posts and stuff like that. So, but like we're getting there. Trust me. Any ideas you want to see for like future live streams? So you do that. Let me know. Let us know, and we'll sit there and add it in. We trying to have a party up in here. That's how I see it. I'm gonna try this live stream. I'm trying to have a party. I want to have good times. I want feedback. I want questions all through the chat. I want everybody to have a good time. So like this is probably like the first time where it didn't feel like a party. It's probably because my better half isn't here. She's here with me in spirit, but she's not here with me right now. She was here, we'd be having a party, We had the party hats, with the New Year. We had a New Year's party in the last live a couple of lives ago. That was fun. Our first live was fun. So yeah, like we're trying to do these things to have a good time. So anything you would like to do or see or be a part of just to make this a little bit more engaging, let us know because we would definitely do it and it'll be a great time. Like you are right. You don't gotta apologize. But yeah, that's it. Like Camille always says at the end of our show or end of our videos. Until next time.